Where did you put the roll call? Is it with Debbie? Okay. You want me to do it? I'll just do it till she gets here. You want me to do it till she gets here then? Yeah. Unless you want to do it.
He's already got it, yes. It took his out of his hands. So that's fine.
Oh.
Invocation, flag salute.
I'll do the invocation.
Okay.
You ready?
That's 3:05. I'm calling September 27th, 2022 DTEDA meeting to order. Would you call roll? No, wait, we have the invocation first and then the flag salute, if you'll stand.
Okay.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, and we ask you to be with this group and the decision-making that is made today. Lord, be with this community, that you keep it safe and you keep the communities in Florida safe during this hurricane season. In Jesus' name,
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, Janet, would you call the roll?
Trustee Anthony, Trustee Calhoun, Trustee Reed, present. Trustee Shattuck,
Here.
Trustee Thorpe, Vice Chairman Walker, Chairman Sher.
Here. Okay. The minutes of August 30th meeting, any discussion on them?
I make a motion, we approve the minutes as presented. Second.
All right, had a motion to approve and second. Would you call for the vote?
Trustee Anthony, Trustee Calhoun, Trustee Reed, yes. Trustee Shattuck,
Yes.
Trustee Thorpe, Vice Chairman Walker,
Yes.
Chairman Sher.
Yes. Okay, financial reports. Jeff?
It is a little light this month. We do not have, Ann has been out of the office for the city, so we're short on the city information. But if you look at page 4, you'll see funds balance available, budget 9/1 of 2022, $939,611.88. You see the expenses for September of $77,000. They're listed below. The final payment for overdrive for the concert series, DACC, our management fees, the contract labor for the city, and then Keystone Broadcasting advertising. So you can add up to $77,000 at this time. You should have another page, maybe, I think you do. Durant Tourism Economic Development Tax. It looks like this, and it shows our September estimated tax revenue of $43,873.83, and that is pretty much all I have for this month.
Okay, thank you. The Stokely Billboard annual rental. Who wants to tell us about that? Come on, man.
This is the one that we actually have already voted on. We just didn't have a contract. He discounted it if we pay it all at one time. We do have the funds to do that, so my suggestion is that we go ahead and we get that taken care of so that we don't have to do it on a monthly basis for this year. Debbie? Debbie? Roll call.
Hey, man. I did just want to clarify one thing on that. That is for the monthly rental only. We will still incur fees for hard costs to change out signs. I just want to make sure that that's, so if we see an invoice from them, it'll be for sign production. This just covers the monthly rental fees.
And this is just the one billboard, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, there's double,
That's
yeah.
double, but
It's double, but yes.
one location.
But that's for both. That's
Correct.
for both of them.
Did they go up on the price?
No, they went down actually. If we pay in advance for a year, then we get a discount on it.
So 5% discount? That's cheap.
Is this the one where we try to rent out the other part of it? Is that correct? So we get part of this, theoretically part of this back?
Correct.
If we
with
can.
our big events, we do it, it's called a double stack. It's 2 billboards. We technically have 2 billboard spaces that we can do as 1 billboard. That sign is 1 cost, or we can do as 2 smaller billboards. Those signs are.
Okay. Yeah.
And the Magnolia Festival will be renting it out as soon as the concert series goes down for the
Okay.
Christmas. Not renting it, but putting it
So did you
on.
say this has already been approved, Janet, or it has to?
Well, we discussed it. It was presented earlier, but we actually did not vote on this particular invoice. So we need to vote on this
I'll make a
invoice.
motion we approve.
I second.
Okay, motion's been made to approve and seconded. Debbie, would you call the vote?
Sure. Trustee Anthony, yes. Trustee Reed?
Yes.
Trustee Shattuck?
Yes.
Trustee Thorpe?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Walker?
Yes.
Chairman Shear?
Yes. Okay. The Discover Durant Commercials contracted with Sidekick Marketing.
Yeah, go ahead. Why don't you take this and run with it so we can all look at that?
So this is a follow-up from last month's meeting when originally we had a proposal to do a series of commercials. We had opted as a board to let's start with 1, see how we like that, what the look is going to be like, what the message is going to be like, and then we can commit to doing others. One quick thing I would like to mention about the importance of getting these commercials and updated content out is, as we'll see later in the marketing report, that 47% of our Discover Durant followers do not live in Bryan County, which is phenomenal. That's what we want our webpage, we want our social media channels to do, is to attract people that are not in our backyard already. So what that also means is that we do need to have, we are their pipeline of information for Durant, so having seasonal and updated content with updated attractions, events, and things like that is very vital because that is the main pipeline we have to these folks. So with that being said, I believe we have a sample commercial queued up here. This is the 30-second version, and I believe you guys will be able to hear voiceover and audio internally here.
Visit Durant, Oklahoma, where the people are just as special as our town. From our bustling Main Street full of boutiques, stores, and recreational shops everyone can enjoy, to our wide variety of family-friendly and fine dining options. You can enjoy cultural experiences at the newly opened Choctaw Cultural Center, or tons of water recreation activities on Lake Texoma. Durant is a weekend of fun waiting to happen. Plan your next adventure at discoverdurant.com.
Okay, so any thoughts, questions, feedback?
I love it. It's bright colored and.
It's okay. I'd
catch
soon
it.
have the fort out here, and especially Lake Texoma put in on that. Lake Texoma is a big fort.
That it is. Unfortunately, weather was against us in the shooting of that one. That's the one week we got rain twice, was the 2 days we were setting up to shoot this. And unfortunately, we were not able to do that. But again, because of the stress of how important it is to get new, and that's why we want to do a series for seasonal things as well, because we are really behind the 8 ball on getting updated content out too. And so with the shooting schedule and the weather, unfortunately, you know, that Texoma shot, we were only able to get the audio in there to reference it for the Lake Texoma activities.
Well, it's going to be seasonal, though.
That's exactly it, and that's kind of the point of us coming back today, is to look at approval, because we need to get a Christmas seasonal one up to date, and we're kind of working a season behind right now, and so that's kind of the impetus, or the push. We want to get commitment to our production people so that we can plan these things out and have a little more window to shoot something if we have a bad weather day.
Yeah, the Choctaw Nation is the #1 pool, the lake is the #1 pool, and even if it's not seasonal, let's say in the wintertime, your fishermen go out at 32 degrees, and they have tournaments too. So I'm just telling you, that's the #2 pool outside the Choctaw Nation. This is okay, but, you know, surely you can get a drone up there.
Well, we are, Jim. But weather prohibits that even, because if the winds are too hot, you can't get those up and running. And don't forget, every time he puts that drone in the air, he has to have permission to do so. So he has to get a permit or licensing, especially from the Corps, when he's out on the lake with that.
Even if you're shooting in with a drone, you have to get permission with the Corps.
Really, I never.
Well, if you're flying an FAA, you have to have an FAA 107 pilot's, a drone pilot license, and anytime you take off, you have to give certain clearances or notifications ahead too, depending on the area where you're going to be taking off from. There's a lot of real technical stuff like that.
You have to have clearance to take off if you're a pilot.
If you are a commercial drone pilot, yes, you do. That is required by the FAA.
You have to file a flight plan.
Well, you don't have to do that, but
You don't have to fly anything.
Well, with all due respect to the board and everything like that, we looked into this because we approved, if you guys all noticed, that we approved to purchase a drone for tourism. That's the reason why, is because the certification requirements to file and where you can fly are they're pretty detailed. They are pretty detailed. That's why we haven't pursued it.
Sure, even if you're a pilot of an airplane, I can literally fly to Oklahoma City and not even have to fly plane.
That probably is not a legal action, even though you can do it.
To Oklahoma City airspace, I have to call them and tell them, and they'll bring you in. But as far as a pilot, he can fly anywhere. I can fly to Albuquerque and never have a flight plane.
Well, the motion before is to review the commercial and give approval. We want to put an agenda item to talk about drone pilot requirements.
I think it's good, but I think the next one, we need to include some other stuff like Southeastern.
Yes.
We have,
That's kind of, we wanted to show you guys the proof on this first one, because we have, again, and I did put the original proposal back in your packets today. The original proposal was to do 5 commercials so that we could shoot. Again, we've got 30 seconds to tell about a lot of stuff. We can't put everything in every commercial and have it be different. So that's why the impetus was to put 3 and 4 varying commercials that we can run. And again, we'll get more legs out of that because people aren't seeing the same commercial year in, year out kind of a thing.
When we did this first commercial, what did it cost us?
$12,000 was the cost, and that was the discounted cost.
So is that, in our packet, that was the top one, so we're just looking at 4 more, is that a correct statement?
That is correct. That is correct.
At 9,000 apiece rather than 12.
And that discount he is going to give to us is, if you look at that number over there at 28,000, these will net out to 7,000 a commercial.
So is it going to be 60 to 90 seconds? Because that one was not that long.
Correct. So here's what we do. This is what we really love working about Sidekick. He recorded a 60-second commercial that we can split into 30 and 15-second spots. So like we get a lot of versatility out of this
Get
shooting
more
segment.
content.
Yeah.
and also, Cole, I don't know if you were here when we discussed this, but we had slots on the Discover Oklahoma, and that's why it's so vital that we get this commercial out. And I believe it was Charlie that made the motion to accept that, but he wanted to see the commercial before it was ringing.
I think it's fine. I like everybody's ideas for content going forward. I think we can make some good choices. And at 7,000, a commercial for, I guess we would be approving 4 commercials at 28,000, correct?
That is correct. We've already been in approval for the 12,000 in this first commercial, so this would just be 28,000 would be, and that's turnkey. So if he has to shoot 3 days to get the shot, that's on his dime.
Now, how many commercials we're going to have?
This will be a total of 5 commercials, but in actuality, those 5 can be 15, because we have 60, 30, and 15-second versions, so we get a lot of legs out of that.
So are any of these videos going to be put on our website too?
Everywhere we can put them, they're going to go. KXII, K10, our Facebook, Discover Oklahoma. We're going to put this thing out
And it's going to be on our website.
That is what we're working with Clay. I believe, I don't want to overpromise here, but I believe it's going to have an autoplay feature. So as you go to discoverdurant.com, that video will begin playing as you scroll down to the home screen. Yeah.
Do
Jim,
we
I'm sorry.
split the commercials up, or do we have to go to him to say we need a 15-second commercial? Can we pick and choose could you pick and choose what you want to run in a 15-second, or is it like you just...
We do have complete creative control. Clay Toma, who's the gentleman who's our point of contact with all of his videographers and production people, is fantastic to work with. If we wanted to have this spot, let's say we really want to punch up, something with Lake Texoma, we can get a real hard hit of 15 seconds of that, and just, let's say we're getting ready for a striper season, and we could just blast that 15-second clip out. So we do have a lot of flexibility in what we want each of those commercials to say.
If you get it at Lake Texoma, I really want it to where you pick up a tournament, or you pick up somebody going out on the lake and getting a striper guide and coming back and having the stripers this size, about 10 of them at one time, to where you're shooting that, where it gives them a thought about, let's go down there and...
Listen, I like where you're going, because the ads we just placed for Travel Oklahoma and the Travel Guide, and also for Outdoor Oklahoma, has got a whole family sitting there with all their stripers.
They do that in South Padre, and all their papers, they do that.
Yeah.
Because they know they can put a lot of fishermen down there from all over the Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, all of those places.
Jim, we really wanted it on this commercial.
Yeah, so bad.
But in order to get it to Discover Oklahoma, we have to get something up there ASAP, or we're going to lose our spots.
I already know.
And
I'm just saying in the future.
Yeah.
I agree totally. I think we need to do one that features the outdoor recreation that we have, even Lake Durant.
Yeah, when you have options, right, I mean, you can make a whole 15-second
Yes.
commercial just about
He normally,
Texoma, or just
what he
about
normally does,
Southeastern
he
or
does
whoever.
enough, he shoots enough for 90, and then he dissects them.
Yeah.
Is
So,
that like, you type in, I want sports scenes, and then all the sports scenes he's shot come up, and you can put them together?
Well, we'll say like, hey, like say for example, we've got a crappie festival that Travel OK is doing. We're not going to that show, but we're going to be sending collateral materials. Like, that's a video that we can post on our site and just tag the living bejesus out of that event, so that everybody who attends will see Discover Durant, a 15-second clip of striper fishing. So like, that's the kind of way I like. Again, there are probably 10 to 15 different really effective ways we're going to push these things out, and doing exactly like that. We want to get the most money for our bang here.
You got a lot of things. You got that college rodeo that's a home run too. You can take pictures of that too.
I don't know if anybody can answer this question right now, but can this be tied to the official Durant website, so that, can there be a thing put on our official Durant website?
We can
This video could
we can
run
absolutely provide the
someone?
files to do so. Yeah.
I mean, I think that'd be good.
It would go through the normal City of Durant chain of command to request that. However, I believe that's PIO. Or, yeah, we would go through that command and give that native content to them to post.
Yeah. Don't we have a video on our website?
There is a video on there by CGI, it's an outside company that did that, and that's on there, but we can also put some of this on there. Also, the Durant Industrial Authority webpage, we do have a quality of life section that we put in there.
Yeah, I think every website that Durant, I mean.
Yeah, let them know, right?
I agree.
Share, yeah, I don't mind
Yeah.
sharing with anybody, so.
We don't get charged per view, so I mean,
I make a motion that we approve the 4 commercials for 28,000. Is that a correct statement?
That's correct.
I'll second it.
All right, motion been made to approve the contract for Sidekick Marketing, and seconded. Can we have a vote?
Yes. Trustee Anthony, yes. Trustee Reed?
Yes.
Trustee Shattuck?
Yes.
Trustee Thorpe?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Walker?
Yes.
Chairman Shear?
Yes. Okay, parking signage on the corner of 2nd and Main Street.
If you recall, that was to basically public parking with an arrow pointing towards Law Street, and then we'll get signage to mark both of those individual where there is parking. That will be put, the bid that we have was actually for painting on the side of that building. We have been given verbal permission to do that, but we don't have a written contract with the building owner. So this is the first step.
So where's this sign at?
Do you know, Jim, it's at 2nd and Main where there's the Colton Runs as mural is on the side, and then there's a Native American mural, I believe, too.
Bring
And,
a picture of that, with this,
no,
put it in a picture shot.
we have the picture that he gave us is just a black arrow pointing that says public parking on it.
Is this the Salon Works building, or is it a different?
Yes, it is. It's that building.
Where Salon Works is at, the Salon Works one
Oh.
on the corner.
Yeah.
And this, that one's the wall that faces west, going back towards me.
That's $300?
$300, correct. The other option was to, just at a different size, but to put it there so it's visible for me, in case you guys want to get a reference there.
So you didn't put public parking, you just put parking?
He just put a reference to us, it'll say what we want. I believe he put that on the actual quote there that he put in.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. And then.
So we're just trying to approve the $300 if we get permission to put it on that
Yeah.
building. We still don't have that yet, right? I'll make a motion, we approve.
I'd rather have added public to that instead of just parking in back. And I don't know what you're gonna charge.
Good idea.
When you say public, that means everybody.
Yeah, because they might think it's just for that building.
Yeah, for the clients were there.
I think public parking is best too.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think he'll do that. He just needed a reference.
Is this just for painting it on the building, correct?
Yes,
That-
it is, Danny.
That's correct. Whenever we initially brought this to the board for approval to go out and get a quote, there was a two-step process. We were going to start with the mural parking on the building and then look at matching artwork to signs being installed, and that's where I believe City of Durant, there was a little bit of discussion about who really should be responsible for paying that and artwork and things like that. So that's where that kind of tailed off as far as what is next after we get this signage up.
And I'll second it with the public parking added.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, can we have a vote on this?
Trustee Anthony, yes. Trustee Reed?
I do.
You're up.
Oh, yes.
Trustee Shattuck?
Yes.
Trustee Thorpe?
Yeah.
Vice Chairman Walker?
Yes.
Chairman Shear?
Yes. Okay. Discussion and approval to enter executive session pursuant to OK Title 25, Section 307.
I think we have to skip 6 and 7.
You have to what?
We have to skip 6 and 7. 6 is worded fine, but it needs to have an item above it that says kind of what we're going to go discuss. And I didn't catch that on the agenda, that it needs to say why you guys want to go into executive session, like what it is that we're going to discuss. And then number 7 just says come out and approve or not approve what we discussed in item 6. There's no way anybody could possibly know what on earth we're talking about, so we have to skip those.
Can we maybe have a special meeting for that?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. We'll move on to number 8. Durian Chamber of Commerce Activity Marketing Report.
We're not done yet. There you go.
Is that much wind come through? The hurricane.
Oh, man. Sometimes you just gotta laugh, right? Sometimes you just gotta laugh. So with the Durian Economic Tourism Development Report, again, one of the things that to kind of keep in mind here for future consideration and discussions is that already today, we started our fiscal year July 1. Okay, as of today, we have already awarded $50,000 in grant awards. So that is amazing. That is to 6 very wonderful grants that have brought a lot of, again, community involvement. One of those is happening this weekend with the rodeo. Tailgate Alley has been fantastic. The Spirit of the Hawk is going to be next week or the following on the 14th. They've got great attendance. The softball tournament, they had record attendance out there for the girls softball tournament. And I know that as fast and as quickly as we can get things processed for these grants, it's a real good opportunity for them to really build some tax base for us and get more hotel lodging nights for us as well. So I know we are just waiting on one grant right now. The disc golf course, our disc golf tournament that was here last month, they are having to move their dates into December. So once they have a date back, we'll process their payment. Those are the two that are showing.
You're talking about the Frisbee golf?
Yep.
Gotcha.
They have a tournament that actually popped up in North Texas. That's a pro tournament, so they don't want to, again, they're trying to build a pro stop here, so they're moving dates on that. So the two that are pending are the rodeo and the disc golf tournament. So, but other than that, we have awarded $50,000 to date, so that is awesome. We got all of the script done for the Discover Durant commercial, which as you guys heard, I think our content's on point. We just want to, again, tighten up a few things and then work on getting our next commercials going, and that is our storyboard. So our gentleman who does production, he went ahead and took a flyer that you guys would like the commercial, and he started storyboarding our holiday one, so we are already in the works on that. We have shoot dates already planned, scene sets already planned to get a holiday commercial out quickly, so thank you for that approval today. Got all the fall events scheduled, and this is being disseminated out through all of our channels, online, digital. We've got a ton of events this fall. I did bring a few sheets with me today. I'd like to leave with you guys to keep and hang on to, just to kind of put bugs in your ear there. We've got a new carnival, and I believe if you guys have questions, Janet might have some more info. We did get a new carnival for Magnolia Festival, and I believe we are maybe trying to get one for Magnolia Christmas Fest, possibly a pared down version of that.
What happened to the old one?
They weren't cutting it, man. That's just, I mean, it's
Well, and
short and
actually-
sweet. They just weren't cutting it.
Actually, that shouldn't have been on there, the Magnolia Festival. That's the Chambers, so.
What about this tailgate alley? Did that go over good?
That is, so the Trubu Barbecue, yes, it did. And I will tell you what
I didn't see who won.
here's what's best about it. So we had eight,
I know, me too.
we had 8 contestants. I think we all ate our body weight in barbecue. But the 2 winners were people that were not from Durant,
Good.
that were not SC alumni, that saw the entry form off of our post and entered. So they went
That's
through Discover
awesome.
Durant.
Why did we have it at $650 instead of $2,500 for the first place?
That was an SE Foundation. That's their part of their prize money. So I couldn't speak on their affiliate or association with where they got.
We talked to them before next year. I'd like to have the first prize at $2,500 instead of having 2 or 3 people from out of town. I'd like to have about 10 people from out of town. You get enough time that the people that have a good barbecue will come down here and win it, and then they'll put it on the wall when they get back to their restaurant.
Well, yeah, I think that's 2. We've got 2.
650 is okay, but it's not going to pull any big ones in.
So, but yeah, both of these companies were really great. We had tons of attendance. Unfortunately, we didn't pick up the W that day, but Tailgate Alley was a huge success, and it's building so this is the second one. We've got 3 more. Youth Sports Weekend is next on October 8th. You bring your kids out, they wear a sports jersey, they get in for free with an adult. Impact Realty is doing a thing to have kids games beforehand, free food, stuff like that. So it's a really cool community event. We have a blast out there. The community is having a blast too.
On the football game, how was it halfway full or 3/4 full? Could you tell?
It's a good call. The home side stadium was pretty full. The traveling team didn't, but I'd say the stands over there probably at about 75, 85% and steady through the game.
Yeah, I was out of town, I'd love to see that.
That's good. And we're getting viewership online as well. The streaming views are up. Jay Lindley with Southeast Sports Network gave us some great stats on that. So their viewership is up, which means more people are hearing Discover Durant commercials the longer they listen.
I appreciate you because you're well versed. Beforehand, she was having fun on her Chamber of Commerce hat up here and explain. But you're very efficient with it.
Well, every now and again I step out of my lane and I get reminded pretty quickly. Thank you.
Talking about the event series, concert series, do y'all have some more of those poster things like you had last year that showed all the?
We do.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yes.
I'd like to have.
Would you like some?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We will bring some over to you.
Okay, good deal. Those are actually, I believe that Overdrive printed those last year, the posters.
Oh, I can ask you.
That is
They don't have them this year.
That
We
is
had to
correct,
print
yeah.
them.
Oh.
Yeah.
So,
But that's right.
but
Thank
we
you.
can do it. We can do it on just a legal size and hand those.
Yeah, that's fine. I just.
That's what size they have it
Yeah.
formatted in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Front
Yeah.
doors.
And we had very good attendance at that too.
Yes, we did. First week of the Discover Durant concert was great. I was really shocked. We had over 10,000 people reached, over 60 some odd shares on social. It was a really good turnout. This week is, so far, all the numbers are trending to the right direction with a very different group of people. So very curious to see how this week kind of plays out. Different music genre this week, so different age group, different demographic. So.
And the commercial we saw a while ago was a Christmas commercial that we're trying to get through, right?
No, we are going to do one specifically for holiday shopping, downtown events. We've already got with some of other organizations that have Christmas decorations. We're going to stage and set things to make it look like Christmas in October.
As we go out of town, and I know, I'm not downtown, but if they want to try to pull people in at other places and what I'm seeing on television in other cities, once a month and sometimes every week, the people downtown of other places are putting a discount or 10% off on quite a few items to pull the people in. I mean, it's just like a grocery store. They'll give you the vegetables and say you can have $3 for $1, but that's to get you in to where you buy the rest of it. But if they'll start, discounting on weekends, people will come down for 10%. People are tight nowadays, especially with the interest rate going up.
Well, yeah. They're called loss leaders. What you come in to get milk and eggs, and then buy candy and cereal for the kids. That's what we need to do with Durant.
Yep.
Thank you. Thanks.
Do we have anything from the Choctaw Nation Tourism?
Yes, they did. I did receive an email this morning. The 3 things they had listed on there were concerts that were upcoming on Choctaw Nation. There were no other activities or tourism items to report, just the concerts that were upcoming.
Are they having any cancellation in their concerts anymore, or?
Not that I'm aware of. I have not seen anything come through.
Jeremy, you might talk a little bit about the powwow.
I was to say, the powwow, that was so as last month we did grant, Discover Durant granted an award to the Choctaw Nation Cultural Services to help with the powwow. And what was a really big hurdle in that is that we did get approval to use the Discover Durant logo on all of the branding for that. So all of the literally millions of people that'll be reaching that graphic artwork, which looks really nice. We'll also see Discover Durant right next to that. So we are going to get some really good exposure. The attendance, they have had to move things back over to the event center. That's where everything's going to be held now. They just made that announcement yesterday. And again, that was in large part because of population. So they're expecting a large turnout, which will not, they've got to house it in a building that will allow all of that to take place. So
I'm hearing for the last year that they're going to tear that event center down. So they're not.
how many years has that been, boss? How many years?
For a couple of years.
I think everybody's heard a few years. Yeah. Well, listen, we'll keep rocking it till they tear it down, man. That's.
Indians do that, and it just takes them a little while, about twice as long.
I mean, smart money.
Because when I tell her I'm gonna be home at 2 o'clock, she knows it's gonna be 4, so I guess that's my birthday.
One of the many.
That's a good trade, so they don't need to tear that event center down.
One more thing, I don't know if this is new or old business, update. When are we gonna get the dynamite?
Hey, you know what?
No, I'm serious.
I'm serious too, man. That is
It's
starting-
supposed to be in April and May, and it's not turning into anything.
It's rock, right? I mean, we can move rock somehow.
We got the city manager.
Hey, listen, I'm with you, man.
Do you know?
She's like, what are you talking
On
about?
the Choctaw,
On the feather thing.
have you got anything more on that?
Oh,
We're waiting on the others to be.
So they got the drill, they're able to get the other sand down?
Like I said, the concrete's in the ground.
yeah, the concrete's in the ground.
The concrete's in the ground,
Uh-huh.
That was the last update we heard was.
and so now they're ready to put it up?
We're waiting for delivery of the feathers. And
Okay.
then once the feathers are installed, then we install the rest of the blocking cabinets.
Well, we appreciate you coming in.
We are,
Since you're the city manager.
there are gonna be, is there gonna be a little plaza there? And
And you'll have a fence around it, right?
I don't remember seeing a fence on the sketches I've looked at. I'll have to get back with doing that stuff.
So how much
It's a
longer do you
public
think it'll be?
statute, so I don't know that we fence at all.
How much longer do you think it'll be?
We expect the feathers just anytime. They told us end of the month, but it's not here yet, so.
Like everything else.
With the Vision paper out, the Choctaws are teaming up with Ireland again, and I think they're fixing to build one, but it's not gonna be 3 feathers. I think it's gonna be about 7 feathers. Have you seen that?
I thought Ireland already had one.
I'll bring the paper next time and show you.
I thought this was a copy of the one.
It is.
It is similar, but the Ireland's got to come out 4 or 5. If you look it up on the Ireland page on about Choctaws, you'll see it over there. But they got another one coming too.
Oh, no.
But that's on the Vision paper. Is that anything else?
Any business?
I would on the new business. I'm seeing it other places. And I brought this up probably about 2 or 3 years ago. And it would be an excellent place to bring in people and make them stay longer at hotels and make them stay longer in this town. And I know Vibe could probably do it, and it's gonna cost us some pretty good money. But you go to other places and they advertise and they run it every hour, and they're telling you events that they got coming up, what they have in town, whether it's the port or the you know, the lake out here or whatever. But they run it on a certain channel on their schedule. And I'm telling you, people look at that, and when I'll even look at it, I'll look at it for 10 or 15 minutes when I'm in town like that. And if I see something I like, I will go to it. It will change what you're doing in that town when you're seeing the advertising. And if you put it on all the hotels, the signage, it will pull people and make them stay longer or even come back in a month or 2. It will help us, it'll help everybody else, restaurants, it'll help downtown. And in other places, they don't just do for advertising for Southeastern and all that. They bring in that downtown with the pictures you had up there a while ago, and they run that on their downtown, like you in Branson on Dick's 5 and Dime. And so I'm just telling you, they put that on that channel, and I'm sure we can do it with Vibe. I don't know how much it's gonna cost, but I'd like to see that looked into and brought up. It'd be a visitor channel is what it's gonna be. But I think it'll pay for itself, and it might be $30,000-$40,000. It doesn't make any difference. It'll pay for itself with them staying here. You understand what I'm talking
Yeah, I
about?
know.
Jim, we did check.
In other places.
It's
Yeah.
like a continuous loop.
Yeah, but we did check on that, and it was about 3 years ago. And at that time, there wasn't a designated channel, and they had to have a designated available number channel. And
I'm going to cut y'all off. This is not really new business. This is just something else somebody wants to talk about. Make it an agenda item for the next meeting, Jim.
Bring this up for next
Yeah,
time.
make it an agenda item next time.
We don't need to discuss it right now. You're right.
Okay.
We agree.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second.
All right, vote.
Trustee Anthony, yes. Trustee Reed,
Yes.
Trustee Chaddock,
Yes.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Walker,
Yes.
Chairman Shear.
Yes.
Well, it's good to see you. How's your house coming? Yeah.